What up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's your guy, Hit the keys. Here today to do a quick review and demonstration over Magma Little Tube by Waves. You guys already know what time it is. Every single year, Waves gives us a free plugin, and this year they came through with a saturation plugin. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. But with no further delay, let's get right into the video. Hit the key. All right, guys. So when you open up the plugin, it is going to look like this. It's got a vintage looking GUI. It's pretty simple to use. As you can see here, it's got 3 different controls. So you got your soft, you got your normal, you got high, then how much you want to drive it. And you also have output right here. I made a little sample beat as always, and I use Magma on everything on this beat. You guys already know how I am. If I can't use it on everything, I don't want it. Of course, it's not all the way mixed down, but let's go. All right, guys, so that's a little sample beat that I put together for you guys today. Beat brought a little tear to my eye. I'm not even joking. No, I got a little bit of sweat underneath my eye. But let's go ahead and hop back into Magma and check it out. So I did sincerely use this on everything. So let's go ahead and check it out on some of the things that I use it on. We're going to go ahead and start right here with the piano. So this is what the piano sounded like before I threw Magma on there. So some basic chords like normal, but once we threw the Magma Little Tube on there, we got it to sound like this. So basically what it did was I turned down the volume a little bit, and obviously I added a little bit of the saturation to it. So it wasn't like it just gave it the gain. It gave it the gain back up and gave it the saturation. But it's got 3 different types. So that was the normal type. I'm here with the high type. It's going to put a lot more distortion on there for you, or more saturation on there for you. And then with the soft, it's just subtle, but it is going to add more gain versus saturation, you know, like a crunchy saturation. So, you know, nice right there, just subtle enough to add just some more spice to your sounds. So what I really like it on though, is this vocal chop right here. So with this vocal chop, the vocal chop, I put a few other effects on there, obviously some delay and some reverb, but this is what the vocal chop sounded like without any of that on there, just the bare vocal chop. Change, you don't feel the same. All right, so then once I throw that little tube on there though, we get it to sound like this. Change, you don't feel the same. Now, with this plugin, I know a lot of people are going to ask about gain compensation. It's kind of hard to say because it's like, I feel like with normal and high, there is gain compensation. And that's why I have the plugin right here so you can see as I'm messing with the controls. With soft though, there ain't no gain compensation. I just want to put that out there. So we'll go ahead and mess with these controls a little bit just so you can see what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and mute this again real quick. And then this is where the volume of the vocal was at initially. Change, you don't feel the same. So, you know, it's around 9 once we throw Magma on there and we throw a little drive on there. Change, you don't feel the same. And if you listen to it, it pulled it down a lot of dBs, but the perceived loudness of it sounds pretty close to the same loudness. So that's something to think about as well. Once I got that delay and reverb on there, then I got that vocal to sound like this.
Change, change, you don't feel the same. Change, change.
So, I mean, that sounds dope, but you can crank this up a little bit more. I'll mess with it a little bit more just so you guys can get a little more examples of this as well.
Change, change, you don't feel the same.
Oh, what I forgot to mention that's very important, as we're looking at this with the high over here, I actually had to crank the output up to get it to where we wanted it at. So, you know what I'm saying? You can really drive this with normal and high and not have to worry about blowing your speakers, because you have to use the output. And then obviously if you put too much output, that's when you have to worry about blowing your speakers. But on normal,
Change, change, you don't feel the same. Change,
so we'll listen to it one more time without Magma on there, but with those effects on there.
change, change, you don't feel the same. Change, change. Oh.
So super nice. Another thing that you guys definitely heard it on in the beat was this guitar. I should have used an electric guitar. I already know, my apologies, but I just grabbed a guitar just so that you can hear the difference with the saturation on there. Probably could have just grabbed my guitar, fail. But then this is what that guitar sounded like. And then once I got that little tube on there though, we got it to sound like this. And then I actually swam it all the way out in reverb as well. So, that's how I got it to sound like that. But we can mess with a few of the different types real quick so you can hear what those sound like on the guitar as well. Go ahead and turn this down a little bit. And then as you see here, I had to boost the output a little bit as well. So now let me go ahead and throw it on soft. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and play it on one more thing for you guys today. You guys already know what time it is, where we're gonna put it on. We're gonna go ahead and put it on the drum bus. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna unhighlight all the drums. So I got a kick, I got a hi-hat, and I got a snare. And I've just sent them all to a bus. And this is what it sounded like before I put the Magma little tube on there. All right, so that's what it sounded like. Now, once we threw the Magma on there. You hear how I gave it more oomph, obviously. But again, we can use different kinds of saturation type. So obviously you can see right there, you can get a lot of oomph in your drums. Let's go ahead and go to normal real quick. So you see it's hitting about right there. Let's see what it was hitting at without the Magma on there. Obviously, we added some gain, some output. So let me go ahead and turn that little bit of output down real quick and see what it sounded like as we drive it a little bit more. Because I know you guys love the gain compensation. Trust me, I know. I see the comment section. So as you see, it didn't really lose much as far as dBs, but it still had more perceived loudness. So, all right, guys, that's what I got for you today. I should have also mentioned that you can also throw this on a mix bus and it will just add a little bit more life to your mix, but just add a little bit, don't add too much, because saturation can definitely destroy your whole mix if you put too much in. In my personal opinion, I do think that this is a solid free saturation plugin. Sometimes people complain and they be like, we have so many saturation plugins, or there's too many reverbs, or there's too many delays. But think about the world, y'all. How many different soda companies are there? How many different car companies are there? How many different cereal companies are there? How many different shirt companies are there out there, et cetera, et cetera. So all this is a different kind of flavor. I would recommend checking it out. It's free. Can't go wrong with free. Make sure if you guys do like this content though, you drop a whole elbow on that like button, hit subscribe and that notification bell so every time we bring you guys a new video, you can be the first to see. Appreciate you guys' time as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Some, hit the key.